Right friends, welcome back to third capsule. This is on North Korea and the United States of America. Tensions are increasing. What next? We have the most unpredictable leader in North Korea and similarly to somewhat unpredictable leader in United States of America also. I am talking about Donald Trump. So under these circumstances, world is watching in what way the present testing of nuclear weapons as well as missiles by North Korea will lead to. So let us go ahead. This is East Asia. East Asia has got 6 countries: China, Mongolia, and please don't forget here Gobi Desert is there. And if you look at Japan, Japan is part of East Asia, and this is Korean Peninsula, consists of 2 countries, North Korea, South Korea, and Taiwan, of course not recognized internationally by several countries, and China says that its one China policy is unquestionable. Whoever recognizes Taiwan, then China is imposing sanctions. So under these circumstances, technically there are 5 countries, sovereign countries accepted across the world, and Taiwan, of course another country accepted by only few countries across the world. So this is entirely East Asia. Out of East Asia, this Korean Peninsula is very important. And here I am coming from 1950. After 1950, civil war started. From 1950 onwards, 1953, civil war, and indirectly supported by some countries, North Korea, South Korea. Finally, demilitarized zone was established in 1953 and peace treaty was not signed, and technically speaking both the countries are still at war because peace treaty was not signed, but things are somewhat okay from 1953 onwards. After the armistice treaty was concluded, now this is South Korea from 1953 onwards supported by United States of America. Then North Korea from 1953 onwards supported by China and indirectly supported by Soviet Union. And the point to note is Soviet Union got collapsed in 1991, right? And subsequently Russia is the main country after the collapse of Soviet Union. So under these circumstances, let us analyze the relations between United States of America and North Korea. Before going ahead, North Korea is Democratic People's Republic of Korea or DPRK, whereas Republic of Korea is South Korea. Pyongyang is the capital and population is around 25 million, and this is having the leaders continuously, supreme leaders, and the present supreme leader is Kim Jong-un, and the most unpredictable person in the world, and the country has got good relations probably only with China, and it has got land boundary with 3 countries, China, South Korea, and small boundary with Russia. Having learned this, United Nations strict sanctions were imposed against North Korea because of its nuclear program, and here several items were restricted, but the point to note is China is supporting North Korea. Then here you see North Korea-China trade, it is on the ascent graph. North Korea-China trade, I have taken this slide from some news report. This clearly indicates that North Korea is supported by China, right? And other aspects, if you see, it is one of the world's most secretive societies. China is its closest ally and is main exporter to North Korea. State-controlled economy led to stagnation, and it is a totalitarian state. That means everything is decided by the state. The country is under strict sanctions of United Nations, and it rigidly maintained isolation with the rest of the world, and there are news reports that systematic human rights violations are taking place, frequent executions are taking place, and North Korea conducted its first nuclear test in October 2006, and the present supreme leader is known for his unpredictable behavior. So we learnt about North Korea And now let us start with North Korea and USA since 1990s. 1991, Soviet Union collapse. I already told you, Soviet Union indirectly supported North Korea and South Korea is directly supported by United States of America. And now let us look at the relations between North Korea and USA since 1990s. Regime acceptance and regime survival have been the key priorities for North Korea since the collapse of the Soviet Union, and the nature of the North Korean supreme leader is highly volatile because of the constant apprehensions about the regime's survival. In 1992, a positive move was the withdrawal of tactical nuclear weapons from the Korean Peninsula. I am talking about 1991. From 1991 onwards, 1992 what happened? A positive move was the withdrawal of tactical nuclear weapons from the Korean Peninsula and the suspension of Team Spirit, the joint US-South Korean military exercises. So, what happened after 1992 is, here tactical nuclear weapons were withdrawn. Then second point is the suspension of the military exercises between US and South Korea. As I have already told you, US is the close ally of South Korea. This led to basic agreement on this non-aggression and cooperation. Subsequently, what happened? In 1993, the joint exercises were resumed between United States of America and South Korea. Then North Korea announced its decision to withdraw from NPT. However, North Korea was persuaded to suspend its decision to withdraw from NPT. North Korea also agreed to freeze its nuclear activities, and in return, United States of America pledged some aid to North Korea. So, by the end of 20th century, or you can say after 1995 or so, the relations were somewhat improved between USA and North Korea. Here, food aid and humanitarian assistance was provided by the Clinton administration from 1995 till 2000, and it was close to $750 million. So, the relations somewhat improved from 1995 towards 2000, or specifically the incident which occurred in 2002 spoiled the relations. After the Clinton's tenure, then George Bush, the Bush administration, declared North Korea as part of axis of evil. You may have a doubt what is meant by axis of evil. Axis of evil means the countries whichever are sponsoring terrorism. In the year 2002, Iran, Iraq as well as North Korea were declared as axis of evil by Bush administration, and things gone wrong from 2002 between USA and North Korea. Then it also cancelled direct talks and it annulled the 1994 agreement, and North Korea responded by throwing out International Atomic Energy Agency inspectors from the country and formally left the non-proliferation treaty, thereby provoking a fresh crisis. Then China and Russia initiated 6-party talks in 2004, which led to 2005 joint statement and which expanded the scope to more than nuclear issue. However, the talks collapsed when the United States of America imposed sanctions a few months later. Then North Korea responded with its first nuclear test in 2006, and the nuclear tests continued successively during the past 10-11 years. This is the historical relations, or you can say the relations between North Korea and United States of America. Right, North Korea and its nuclear program. This is very important because the supreme leader is known for his behavior, volatile behavior, unpredictable behavior, and when nuclear weapons are available with such a person, what happens to the world community? That's why world is worrying very much about North Korea. Only China can silence North Korea. China is not doing it deliberately. Subsequent to 2006, North Korea has made steady progress in its nuclear and missile programs. The nuclear test started in 2006, and for the past 10 years, the nuclear program was expanded. Not only nuclear program, missile program is also expanded. Underground nuclear facility was built and nuclear tests were conducted in 2013 and twice last year. So this is all history from 2006. What I mean to convey is, from 2006 onwards, it is building up its nuclear program. It is estimated that North Korea has enough fissile material for 10 to 15 nuclear devices, and by 2019, North Korea will be able to develop long-range missiles that can reach US mainland, and this is the worrying part for United States of America, right? Then let us look at what is the US response during the past few years. During Barack Obama regime, US response has been imposing sanctions. US through United Nations imposed several sanctions after the nuclear tests by North Korea, but the sanctions have not given desired result. You may have a doubt why the sanctions could not give desired result, because of direct as well as indirect support from China. Why China is supporting North Korea? Because of its strategic interests, it is supporting North Korea. Because if North Korea collapses, then unification of Korea may be possible with the United States intervention, and when unification of Korea takes place, then that country may definitely the ally of United States of America, and China is not ready for this in its backyard. In spite of sanctions issued by United Nations, here the regime has not collapsed because of direct and indirect support from China to North Korea, right? Look at the next one. Recent actions of North Korea somewhat straining the relationships with China. If you look at in recent times, recent actions somewhat strained relationships with China. I listed out. China has registered a policy shift reflecting unhappiness about Jong-un's behavior, but it may not allow North Korea to collapse. As I have already told you the reason, and another reason is third missile defense system is being established in South Korea by United States of America. That is not palatable for China. This is another reason. And if North Korea collapses, then lakhs of refugees may come to China, which China is not ready for that. And the dominance of USA, especially in the backyard of China, is not acceptable to China. Then particularly the high-profile executions. Several executions took place recently, and these persons are said to be close to China, and this irked China. Another important point is assassination of half-brother of Jong-un in Malaysia, if I am not wrong. The assassination of half-brother. Then subsequently, China halted coal briquette imports from North Korea, subsequent to the death of half-brother of, or you can say assassination of half-brother of Jong-un. Then Air China also stopped direct flights to Pyongyang, but these are now being reinstated. North Korea accused China of dancing to the tunes of United States of America. Overall, you can say the relations are strained during the past 5-6 months, but overall, China is not in a position to allow the collapse of North Korea regime because of its strategic reasons. Now, future scenario. What is going to happen? China cannot permit a regime collapse because of strategic reasons, as I have already told you. as South Korea is a close ally of USA, if North Korea collapses, then North Korea may be subsumed into unified Korea, which may not be palatable for China, as I have already told you. Quite often, China says that US and South Korea should suspend their military exercises. And now, third missile system is also being established. Then China is worried about the possibility of unpredictable Trump. Trump is also unpredictable. Last time what happened? After the death of children in the alleged chemical attack in Syria, then America attacked Syrian airbase. Like that, there is every possibility Trump may resort to some action against North Korea, and it may unleash using nuclear weapons by North Korea. That is the biggest worry for the world now. China is also not happy with the third missile defense system, as I have already told you, and a lot depends on the election of president in South Korea, for which the elections are going to be held on 9th May. Right? So, this is all about what can be the future options. Then, if you look at the final word, more sanctions or military strikes cannot be the option. The reason being, this man is known for unpredictable and volatile behavior. In fact, China must be pressurized to control supreme leader of North Korea. That is the best way out. Dialogue is the only option. Denuclearization of Korean Peninsula should be the long-term objective. That must be the long-term objective. Denuclearization of Korean Peninsula, and for the time being, world community should make North Korea to agree to freeze on its nuclear program, and at the same time, United States of America need to provide assurances relating to regime acceptance and a gradual normalization of relations. Why this man is more worried? Because in recent history, this person has seen Western interventions not only in Iraq but also in Libya, and at the same time, Russia intervened in Ukraine. So, these type of interventions, North Korean supreme leader is well aware about, and that's why he is very volatile, unpredictable, and he is worried about protecting the regime or protecting his position. That's why he is highly volatile. A moderate leader in Seoul would help the process of sustained dialogue, which needs cooperation with Japan, right? So, Mr. Jong-un's stakes are existential in nature. He is fearing about his own seat, right? And he has seen Western interventions in Iraq and Libya, and Russia's intervention in Ukraine by annexing Crimea from Ukraine. These are fresh in the memory of the supreme leader of North Korea. So, it is necessary to tackle the problem with utmost delicacy because of unpredictable nature of North Korean supreme leader. Right, friends? This is third capsule. This concludes the capsules for this week. Have a nice day. Thank you.